Hello and welcome to this week's Trades and Tutorials video. This is Jeff Bish, president of MarketGauge.com, and in this video I'm going to take a look at two ETFs that are set up in very interesting positions that could shed some light on industry group and sector rotation going on in the market right now. Before I get into the details, if you're just finding us on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also know that we have more videos like this at marketgauge.com/tutorials, and we also put out even more information through Twitter at two different feeds, at MarketGauge and at Market Minute. Finally, if you're not already watching this in HD, all you have to do is change your settings in the lower right-hand corner. Please do. I think you'll like it much better. All right, so the first ETF we want to look at is XLU. I always like to look for patterns that I would call firsts. And in this case, the first hasn't happened yet, but I'm watching out for it, and I think so should you, for two reasons. First, if we take a look at our real motion indicator down at the bottom of the screen, this is a measure of momentum. And while this hasn't broken down yet, the fact that the XLU is under its 50-day moving average, which is its blue line, and its momentum is almost at its 200 average. Now, this green line should correspond roughly with the 200-day price action, but you often get your momentum running ahead of the price action. So in other words, this pullback to the 200 really in momentum really shouldn't happen until you're at the 200 or near the 200 in terms of price. And if it does happen, it means your momentum is really slowing down. The other thing is, if we take a look at where the momentum sits, while it's not breaking the momentum lows of earlier in the year, it's getting close. Now, why would that be significant right now? You always want to focus on price action, and that's where the firsts come in. If you'll notice, all this year, when the market has come down towards its 50-day moving average, it's pretty much recovered relatively quickly. When it's pierced the 50-day moving average, the blue line, it's only pierced it for a day or two on the downside, then settled in and started to march back up. Again, here, broke it for basically two down days through the moving average, and then started moving up. Now, right now, again, we've broken it, we've settled in. If it's going to continue with this trend, should start moving up. So the first would be if it continues to break lower. So if you look at the pattern, every time it's consolidated under the 50-day for a couple of days, the next move has been up. If in this case, the consolidation, which is had under the 50-day moving average, has the next move down, that will be the first time we've seen that all year. And if we combine that with a measure of momentum that's getting weaker, it could indicate that the XLUs are rolling over. Now, that would lead me to the other ETF that's in an interesting situation, and I would say related. Related because if interest rates are if the interest rates are looking to either firm or move higher, that would be a situation where you'd expect XLU to come under pressure. Is XLU telling us that TLT, while it's bouncing off of the 50-day moving average, maybe this consolidation in here, maybe this is looking to be range bound? If you're bullish on interest rates, maybe it's just range bound and not going to continue this almost parabolic move here. Or maybe there's a chance it'll break the 50. I don't know. But if you take a look at XLF, XLF is another ETF that would benefit from rates either firming or moving higher. And XLF has also an interesting pattern. Interesting because it has broken out of the consolidation that it's been putting in for months. In addition to it breaking out of the consolidation, its momentum is breaking out. So again, this real motion momentum indicator here, you can see is confirming the breakout with price over these levels. But not only that, you'll see that this momentum level is even higher than this price action here. So what does that mean? Much like I said with XLU, if we get consolidation after this breakout and this moves higher, that could be an indication that the market, in terms of XLF, is sniffing out or feeling as though rates are in a situation where they're going to firm, maybe move up a little. And if rates do move up or firm, this would be an area you'd want to come look at from a trade perspective. So if I put all this together, this relationship that could play out very nicely would make for a good trade in XLF. The trade would be that you see XLUs break down through their 50 and continue to move lower. You see XLF move higher, and TLTs either stay range bound or break lower. All of this is just a way to kind of confirm that the breakout in XLF is supported by some bigger underlying moves in the economy, and this would also represent a pretty significant shift in leadership if the financials were actually able to pick up some of the role of leadership that XLUs have had for most of the year. So keep an eye on those XLFs and definitely keep an eye on them if they break higher. That's all for now. I will see you in the next video.